to the Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:03. What is up, Lock Shoppers? Thank you very much for being here today. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. And if you're watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. And hit us up in the chat as well. We've got lots to get to. Obviously, Canada, Switzerland coming up. We will dive into that. We got a few things already locked and loaded, waiting for you over at Play Alberta. Of course, Play Alberta, the title sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. You can find the EST specials page over there. Download the Play Alberta app today. We've got Jay's play of the day for the Canada game. He's on Canada minus 3.5 and the over 5.5 goals. Somebody from Banff is calling me right now. Balf. Is Balf even a place? BAWLF? Balf, Alberta? Is that a place? That can't be a place. I had these Stats Can people trying to get a hold of me for a while. Why is Stats Can? I had somebody from Stats Can call me during the Canada game. I was like, what do you do? Why are you calling? Why aren't you watching the game? Didn't make any sense. I don't think Balf, Alberta is a real place. Never heard of it. So Jay's got Canada minus 3.5 and the over 5.5 goals. I've got Canada over 1.5, like the puck line. They have to win by 2 or more, and an under 7. So we'll see where that one goes. Just excited for this game in general. If you've been following along, there's a lot to get to. I know Huss will probably want to talk some curling as well. Shout out to Huss for hopping into the old Lock Shop, or to the Nielsen show this morning as well, bright and early, 6 o'clock hour. I was stunned that it was him, but he confirmed that it was, which I thought was rather amazing. He said he was going to go to sleep. I hope he gets up in time for Lock Shop. We'll see. Huss lives a pretty remarkable life. All right, so Czechia ends up getting it done against France. France gave them a bit of a scare. Czechia ends up beating France 6-3. Slovakia squeaks past Italy 3-2. And then Finland with that empty netter this morning. We were watching that during the Nielsen show. Finland takes that one 4-1. And then in just over 2 hours, Canada and Switzerland will go at it once again. Colleen Toombs over on YouTube says, Balf is a place in Alberta. Where is Balf, Alberta? Let's take a look. It's a village. It is 25 kilometers southeast of Camrose. Founded in 1905 as a stop on the Canadian Pacific Railway. It was named after Nicholas Balf. And here's where it ties in to the Lock Shop. Nicholas Balf at the time was the president of the Winnipeg Grain Exchange. And Huss is from Winnipeg.
And this is crazy. Balf is a place. Benny's second cousin is the mayor there from Nate the Builder.
Come on.
I'm serious.
Benny's second cousin is the mayor of Balf? I don't even think it's called being a mayor. I think it's called like the population there as of 2021 is 412 people. I don't think 412 people have a mayor. I think isn't it called something else for those smaller communities? Anyway, that's pretty remarkable. Wow, it says here the mayor is Nate the Builder, is Benny's uncle. Where's Benny? I'm going to test Benny on this. Hey, Benny! Benny's still here?
Oh, yeah.
Where's Benny? Somebody send Benny over here. Benny, don't look. What small town is your uncle the mayor of?
Uncle?
No, second cousin.
Second cousin.
Oh, mayor of Bonnyville.
Balf. Jeez, he said Bonnyville. Sorry, Nate the Builder. You gotta talk to this kid.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know he was my second cousin.
Well, I guess he says he's your second cousin.
I don't know the guy.
All right, well, there we go. Betty's getting a bunch of clips put up before this hockey game so everybody can just dial in and focus on the game. Nate the Builder says, it's cousin Jason. I don't think Benny knows about cousin Jason. That's all right. We got the locks. So let's find. Look at this guy. So Huss, you were in the chat this morning, and then did you get some more sleep or what?
It was tough to sort of get back. I would probably close my eyes for about 45 minutes or so. I told you, man, this entire week, my sleep schedule has been so crazy. And the few days before, I'm feeling a bit better now. Like, I think I probably had close to 30 hours over the course of a 48-hour period before yesterday. Like, I would crash right afterwards. I'd be up for 90 minutes. I'd go back to bed. I'd get up, work, and then do it all over again. So yesterday after the show, I was out from about 4:30 till about 8. And then I came back and I wasn't as tired. And I tried to go to sleep about 12:30. I woke up at 3, maybe 3:15, something like that. Whatever, was on my phone for 15, 20 minutes in bed. And then realized that I had USA plus 3.5 in the curling against Canada. And it was the 5th end.
So you stayed. We watched that whole thing on the show today.
So I had an iPad in my bed. So I basically just watched it. And by the time it finished, it was like 4:50. So I'm like, this Finland-Sweden game is about to start. So whatever, I screwed around, and thank God, because I really did want to watch the Finland-Sweden game, and I had PVR'd it thinking that I'd get up at 9 or whatever and then watch it. Well, I go in and realize that I had accidentally recorded Slovakia-Italy as opposed to Finland-Sweden. So I avoided disaster. And then I got watching it. Connor was up, then Remus was up. We were talking about it. So I ended up watching the whole game, and then I realized, oh, the boys are already in. 6 o'clock hour. I don't get in on that very often. And anyways, then, ended up doing a little bit of work, doing a couple other things. And then the next thing, was, in that time where if you don't lie down right now, you won't. So I actually did do that to the Homan game. So I had that on, trying to kind of sleep in and out. Not a great game for Rach.
Homan looked pissed the entire time. And she didn't curl well either, right? Like they were all, it was not good.
And that's the thing. And Homan's, she's the most intense. And she's got that look. Like, can you imagine having her be mad at you?
Oh,
having Rachel Homan.
I think we probably saw it today when her lead hogged that one. Didn't even get it past the hog line. Like you looked at Homan's face, you're like, oh my gosh, she's going to kill somebody.
Well, and Emma had a couple rough ones at the time. I kind of zoned out for a couple of the ends as we got later on. But yeah, so the bottom line is, I think there's an element right now, especially like kind of starting now that the hockey's on, with potential big games at 5 a.m, of Olympic. What's the word when you can't sleep? I'm so tired I can't remember.
What? I'm actually typing in what's the word when you can't sleep? Insomnia. You got Olympic insomnia.
Olympic insomnia. Yeah. I knew that earlier, and I thought that, I'd talk about this. And now again, you get delirious a little bit after a while. But no amount of delirium insomnia will prevent me from being locked in at 2:10 p.m. Now, let me ask you, what are you like? You'd normally be on. There's afternoon shows. Like, are you guys just going to be going normally, or?
Yeah, we'll just be going normally. Hernan and Gage will mostly just be watching the hockey game and talking about it, and then Reed and Jay's show essentially becomes like a post game show, right? So, it's people can have the game on, and then they can have the station on, and they'll get a little bit of both. I would think. It's Friday. I might stick around. I got a couple of things to do after work for Valentine's Day still. And then, so I might stick around, watch the first period. Well, I guess I could stay here and watch the whole game, but I'd like to get home, watch the third period with like Tam and the kids after school. So I don't know. I might maybe rate it when we're done Oil Stream today. I might jet grab a couple things and get home before like midway through the first period, I guess. Yeah.
It's more on this now that, I think of some of the great moments of like growing up. Did Marshall get to watch the game in school yesterday?
No, they didn't put it on in school. No, I know.
What's happening to our country?
I'll say this: if the semifinals next Friday, and if it's not on at school, then I'm probably going to file a formal complaint to the Edmonton Catholic School District. I mean, that's the one. Like, you got it.
We lost our way as a nation if these kids are not being. These will be some seminal moments for children as a group watching Team Canada together.
They'll be telling these stories years from now. Yeah.
I'm going to sound like an old fart, but generations of kids can think back to, in things like Olympics where there's been weird time zones and it's happened during the day. You've got the opportunity to actually watch together. And I mean, like, you don't think that that's good? Like, that brings kids that might not be exposed in their home to do it. I'll give you a story. One of my very good friends, Johnny Viking, one of the more psycho Viking fans on the planet. He's a teacher at Sisler High School in Winnipeg here. And he does the phys ed class. So that's a school like so many cities. I mean, the demographics have changed like 190% in probably about 40 years.
Yeah.
And like the demographics of this school now, we've got a huge Filipino population in Winnipeg and really always has, but it's grown. And then, the East Indian or South Asian population is sort of there's a whole new part of the city that is like 90%. They all go to Sisler. So, I mean, the demographics are so different. And so many of these kids, especially the South Asian ones, have never been, introduced to hockey. So he sent me a text yesterday. He goes, nothing like gym class today. And he had the game up on the thing and like all the kids were locked into it. And I mean, I don't know whether I'm not going to get political here. I don't know whether this is still part of being Canadian, but I hope that this hockey team and the Olympic Games are still something that can actually bring us together. And as we get more diverse, let's not lose sight of the fact that this is our sport. This is something we have an incredible amount of pride in, and use that to hopefully make a lot of newcomers feel more part of Team Canada.
I love it. Plus, you should run for prime minister, for goodness sakes. Just laid that out. You're like full-blown elbows up. You're that guy. You're that guy. Like, that was extremely well said. Dustin texts in, not me, a different Dustin, whose wife also, coincidentally like mine, is a teacher. He says, my wife's a teacher in St. Albert, and she did put the game on in her class yesterday. So there's, I'm sure there's a sprinkling of teachers around. I'll tell you, like, for example, if we know that Marshall's teacher is not going to let them watch the semifinal game, he won't go to school next Friday.
Yeah.
He will stay home and watch the game, or he'll come in here and watch the game with us. Like, that's how it's going to have to be, I think. Okay, a couple other texts I want to get to. We'll set up this game. We'll talk about that Finland-Sweden game. But a couple of texts have carried over from the morning show that, Huss, I think you would appreciate both of these. So the one text is from a guy named Onaway J, who has a wife and 2 kids. They're gone all weekend. He's got the house to himself for 4 straight days. He's off today, so he's got 4 days off, house to himself. First time it's happened in years. He was texting in about today. I said, dude, you're about to live your best life. He's texted in an update. He goes, hey, Dusty, update on my weekend of freedom. I just hit up Costco, dropped some A&W for the ride home, 2 bacon and eggers, 2 hash browns, strawberry smoothie. This is incredible. And then he also throws out that he knows that the town of Balf is real because he grew up in Camrose. It's just east of Camrose. So this guy is kicking off his 4 days by himself with some A&W after a Costco trip to set yourself up for the weekend. I'd say that, and he's settling in. He's home in time for the game, and he's going to be uninterrupted all weekend. That's a nice start. That's a nice start to the next 4 days.
Absolutely. Now, is he rolling solo, or does he have a bunch of his buddies that he doesn't usually get to see? Like, is he going to be?
Good point. He hasn't brought that up
into
yet.
A bit of a boys' weekend. It's tough for guys with families, and I get it. Like, I'm sort of the opposite of this. I mean, I got a crew of a bunch of D-gens that are always willing to go. Where are you guys going to be?
Yeah.
But when you have a certain routine, you get into that sort of. You maybe drift away. But I'll tell you what, if he does have that crew that he doesn't get a chance to see and gallivant with every now and then, this would be a perfect time to make a special appearance going, boys, I'm free.
That'd be a legendary appearance.
Fire it up.
That would be a good one. So anyway, on the way, Jay, let us know. I don't even mind the text messages throughout the weekend because I'll slide in and check the account to see how it's going. And then the other one came in from Big Chicken Wing. The Big Chicken Wing is his text handle. Now, part of me still thinks this is just a dude who's like 30 and on his own and trying to take us for a ride. But this kid apparently texted in this morning at 7:30 asking for advice. He says he's in grade 10. He's never had a girlfriend before, but there's this girl at school that likes him. And Valentine's is tomorrow. Said he wanted to ask her maybe to be his Valentine or something, but he doesn't have a clue how. So then we were giving us some advice. And then he texts back in here. He goes, update on Valentine's. In foods class, surprisingly enough, we made fried chicken. So I grabbed a chicken wing, put it on a plate with gravy, and delivered this to this girl with a note that said, will you be the Big Chicken Wings Valentine? I got a yes. Let's go, boys. Thanks, fellas. So, I mean, I'll say this. If this kid's in grade 10, like if this is a real person in grade 10, this guy's after my own heart. Like, I love this kid. But I'm also afraid it's just like some dude who's like trying to live this fantasy or something. So anyway, awesome text from the Big Chicken Wing.
Listen, I'm team Big Chicken Wing. Like, if you can have that sort of like kind of self-awareness, self-depreciation, and still have
at the age of 15, 16, maybe.
Yeah, like the most awkward point in like any male's life. He's going places, and I'll tell you what, his Valentine will always remember that chicken wing with gravy. It's a little unconventional. Many people have gone with candy.
She will always remember that, though, buddy. She will remember that. She'll tell that story in 30 years.
They might get married. It's a love story that'll last forever.
Oh my God. I've replied to this kid. I was gonna say amazing, man. Like that is too good. That is too good. That's incredible. All right. Huss, what do you think of Finland, Sweden, buddy? Let's go there. Let's start there. Hey, we had a pretty good read on it yesterday, and now that ticket is live. So that's nice to see.
It is very live right now. I mean, and man, we got a great number. I was just looking. I mean, the Finland number was more than plus 150, and like Canada minus 2.5 was still juiced. Like, I can't remember what it was, like minus 129 or something like that. And listen, after watching Canada yesterday, I feel great about that. And I also hit the Rantanen anytime goal. I was surprised. Like, Rantanen being who he is, I don't know whether the books were a little bit spooked by just Finland not being very good and him in particular not being very good. And to be honest, there were some other guys that did it, but the empty netter still paid. But that was plus 225 for Rantanen. So yeah, a great start to the game. I thought that Finland, and this was sort of the basis for the pick too. I mean, it's tough to pick between them. You could probably say Sweden's a little bit better. But man, not having Leo Carlsson is huge. Like, they remind me of the Wild. Like, they've got a great blue line. They've got Eriksson Ek in the middle. They don't have that center depth. But
that is a big miss. You're right. That is a big miss.
Dude, he would have been their number one center.
I mean, Finland doesn't have Barkov either, who's their number one center.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was sort of the evening up if you thought that the Swedes were ahead. So, put it this way, man, Finland was a desperate team and they came out that way. And, I can't remember the guy's name that scored the first goal, but he basically, I don't even think played in the first game. It was the defenseman. And he ripped that thing. And like Gustafsson, 2 games in a row, let in a kind of a bad goal in the first however long, the first few minutes. And they got that goal. Their fans got into it. And then it was on. And to be honest, I mean, they were up 2-0. The only reason the Swedes got back into that game was a stupid penalty by Rantanen. Now, maybe it was a bad call. He was very pissed off about it. But, I mean, I thought Rasmus Dahlin was the best guy in a Sweden jersey. He scored that goal. He had a couple big chances later on. But listen, they were able to bury it. And at the end of the day, Saros was the better goaltender. And Finland's there. And, you know, I know everyone was focused in on that game, as was I, but I did flick back to the Slovakia-Italy game. And man, I got to tell you, those Italians, I mean, I admit with my Italian friends, I made a few jokes going into the Olympics about like how bad these games were going to be when they were in. I got to tell you, that group played their asses off. And Clara, the goalie that made the 49 saves before he got hurt and got pulled out, had to come in off the bench cold in the third period because their other goalie got hurt. And then, boom, they score with 3 minutes left. It was 3-2. They pulled the goalie. They were all over it at the end. It was far, far more exciting and more of an ending. Like, I figured that one would be long over by the time Finland-Sweden ended.
Yeah.
So now that group, it's wide open for 3 teams to be tied at 2-1. Like if the Swedes beat
Slovakia, and Finland beats Italy, it's a 3-way tie, 2-1.
And now Finland is even on goal differential, and Sweden's even on goal differential. Because they both won by 3 and lost by 3.
And Slovakia, as of right now, is plus.
They're plus
4. They're plus 4.
They've already played Italy.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really interesting to see how that all shakes out. And I guess even if you get 6 points, you probably will finish. You want to be 5 or 6. Because if you're not in the top 4, 5 or 6 are going to get 11 and 12, and that'll be Italy and France in all likelihood. And then obviously probably not playing what looks to be Canada, USA, which will be, I mean, if they take care of business, which we expect them to be, it'll be Canada, USA 1 and 2, which is exactly what we want, set up for a gold medal matchup.
USA, United States yesterday, we talked about it with Craig Button a little bit today as well. Button was just like, if this isn't a US-Canada gold medal, he'll be absolutely stunned. I was just having a coughing fit and just took down some Diet Pepsi.
Gotta clear the pipe. It's amazing. I'll say this, and I don't know whether this is just, maybe I've trained myself to do this, but
yeah.
I will tell you that there's nothing that, like, if I'm a little, you got something in it, just a little, and now I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Voice is back.
I will, just a couple beverage things. I always joke about, it wasn't a joke, but my buddy and I, me and my buddy Wales, when we lived together one summer, whenever we weren't feeling good, we had this fridge that we always sort of joked, sort of remarkably stocked itself all the time, but it was always full of Coors Lights all summer. And if we were just not feeling good, we were just like, you know what, have a Coors Light. You'll clear things up a bit. So we just spent the whole summer being like, oh God, I got a cold. They're like, no, drink 6 Coors Lights. You're going to be just fine. So it worked. We were like 24. It was good. But then the other thing with the pop. So I remember the first time I went to Spengler, I had it in like high gear for the first game. And by the time we got to the third game on the second day, started to lose my voice a bit. And I was like, oh man, what should I do? And Vic Router actually said that he likes to leave a bunch of like flat pop in the room or in the booth, and he drinks flat pop to actually help his voice, which is crazy.
Dude, the Vic Router story is all time from our TSN story. He would come on with Rick Ralph, and Rick was hilarious, a very quirky guy, and he caught wind of this. And they must have spent 10 to 15 minutes just talking about this. And Vic discussed the origin story of the flat Coke, the operation for it beginning. He'd get there, he'd crack them all and leave them on the windowsill and then bring them out. I thought it was the grossest and most bizarre thing I frankly ever heard. But you know what? When you're a broadcasting legend, like make the final, Vic Router, you find what works and you do it. And he certainly did. So yeah, I still think about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of curling, I think of Vic Router, and he usually have 3 or 4 flat Cokes that he would just, well in advance of the games, crack them all, let them fizz out, which grosses me out. Like every now and then I'll have cans and like maybe I'll be doing something and I'll just put one down and then I'll grab another one. If you ever grab the wrong one, the one where you expect like a nice, fresh, carbonated Pepsi and you happen to grab one that is flat, that's, top tier shock to the system and disgusting taste, even for something that you normally drink so much and enjoy.
Man, I got to circle back around here, but the big chicken wing is texted back in because I was like, it's probably just a 30-year-old man taking us for a rip. He is texted in his school, holding up the plate with the note on it, and it's written on green masking tape on the plate, and he's holding it up. This kid looks like the biggest beauty of all time. He's in his foods class holding up a plate that it says right on it, will you be the big chicken wings Valentine? This guy's a legend, man. He amazing, like just amazing. I thought it's confirmed. He's actually a grade 10 student who's just a beauty.
Okay, kid, get your high school 2 more years and then right into EST. The big chicken wing, he'll be 18 years old, maybe not even. He can start interning, and who knows? It might be Huss and the big chicken wing doing the lock-up at that point.
Yeah.
He's always too busy.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the case. Anyway, this guy is. This is my highlight of the bloody week right here. This is hilarious stuff. My God.
You gonna tell Marsh? Does Marsh have a Valentine yet? Because he's a little young right now. They're all friends, but that'll be an inspirational story. Son, I knew of a kid named the Big Chicken Wing. He was in grade 10, and you can roll it out for him. And just sometimes you got to go for it. Can't score if you don't shoot.
That is incredible stuff. What a legend this kid's become. So Marsh, so my son and daughter are like Elizabeth. They were doing Valentine's yesterday for the class because today was Valentine's Day, and she made her Valentine's Day box. So they can put them in your desk. She made a puck because she's obsessed with hockey and being a goaltender. So she made a puck with her team logo on it, and it like looks like a puck. I don't know, and so it's good to go. She spent about an hour and 45 minutes yesterday afternoon working on each individual Valentine for the kids. And Marshall's playing NHL 26 or whatever, 25, whatever it is. I'm like, Marsh, you got to do your Valentines. He's like, oh. So he comes up and he literally just wrote the person's name in pencil from Marshall on everyone, and he was counting out, go 6 done, 12 done. Like there's just as basic as you can possibly get. Whereas Elizabeth's putting like an hour and 45 minutes into hers. I said, Marsh, do you have a Valentine's Day box? He goes, no, I think we just put it in a bag or something. I said, okay. So yeah, he's not as into Valentine's Day as his sister.
I love the fact that the Muzz is such a little hockey fiend that this Valentine's exercise is more an opportunity for more hockey-based creativity to be spread amongst the classroom.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what she's doing. So yeah, I'm getting her a pair of I guess she's not going to be listening because she's at school. But I found a good used pair of goalie pads on Marketplace. So I'm going to get them for her birthday. I'm picking them up today. So she's going to be pretty stoked.
I'll be honest. Like I want to buy stock in the Muzz if she's all in on goalies now. As a parent, this is terrible. Like the worst thing you can hear is like your kid wants to be a goaltender just because of You may have to start another 2 channels just for the cost of that, but I digress. A girl with an older brother and a girl that wants to be a goalie and is in on it, like, you know how many pucks she's going to see over the course of the next 4 or 5 years?
A lot of them. A lot of them.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we're going one of two ways here with her, because she really wants to be a goalie. By all accounts, she's pretty good at it. She's insanely tall. She's super flexible. I'm like, I told her she's 8. I'm like, you check off all the boxes. Like, if you want to do this, let's go. Like, let's make this happen. But what we're done is we're going to put her in spring hockey as a goalie and just say you can play for 2 months in spring. And if you still want to be a goalie after that, then you can be a goalie moving forward. So 3-on-3, it's spring hockey's 3-on-3, full ice, big nets. Right now she's playing full ice, small nets, and it's 5-on-5. So she's going to get absolutely peppered and lit up for the next 2 months. Like, she probably will have 15 goals a game. And if she still loves it after that, then she can be a goalie. But if spring hockey sucks her will to stop pucks out of her, then she'll just continue to play out. So we'll find out in the next 3 months.
I imagine she's a probably pretty good skater for her age.
She gets around pretty good. Yeah, she gets around pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say also
solid.
for goaltenders, like, I know today's it's different than we were kids, like they're starting to specialize so early. But like other sports, racket sports, baseball, softball, those sort of things, like for goaltenders, I'd imagine so many of those things you learn in other sports, I would imagine would be very beneficial to creating like the athlete.
Yeah.
That is a great goalie. But again, you got to love it. You got to want to do it, right? So she's all into it, and all those pads. Get a good video of the look on her face.
The reveal, yeah. It should be
the reveal.
Should be pretty good. Rip City Step in the chat says, but Muzz is a basketball star. She is very good at basketball too. So I figure she'll just play WNBA and PWHL, right? Somebody's going to have to do it eventually, us. I don't know how much overlap there is on the seasons, but that's probably what's going to happen. And then her brother can broadcast all the events, which will be a good time too.
Agent.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Get Marshall into the agent business. That's pretty good. All right, 780-218-9999. Dudley texts in and says, you know what they say? Ain't no thing like a chicken wing. Going back to the big chicken wings. And he also texted in and he goes, I love how I'm not even 18 and I'm listening to a gambling show. Well, let me say this, big chicken wing. Use your game sense. We can eventually play. And let's set up this Canada game. So what are you expecting we've got a couple of things already up. Jay's play of the day from yesterday. He went Canada -3.5 and the over 5.5 goals. That's plus 195. And then this morning, I went Canada just to win by 2 or more. And then the under 7. So I'm looking at like 5-1 type of game. 4-2 would also cash for me. And that one's at plus 200. Do you expect them to do what they did to Czechia to Switzerland? Like, is there a path for Switzerland to score a goal or two here today?
I mean, I guess Logan Thompson, we expect him in the net, and this is his first chance. Now, he's been brilliant. Dude, I watched that last game before the break. It was the final game. I think it was Washington, Vegas. Was it Vegas? Anyways, he was so dialed in. He was incredible. So I don't feel that there's going to be a big drop off. But again, the bright lights, a different pressure, a level that, if you haven't been there before, it's just simply hard to compare to even the regular NHL, even though you're going against those guys. So, I guess we'll see. But when we talk about talent, the players, like who will be carrying the play, shots, opportunities, all that. It's pretty hard not to think it'll be all Canada. And to be honest, I think the fact that this game is the next day is actually good. There's no time. Like, they were so good yesterday, and you just wanted that game to keep going. It was so fun. And I think there was a lot of guys like, with the talent of that team, there's world-class players that aren't playing 15 minutes a night, and they're used to playing 25. So I have a hard time making an argument against against Canada. The one thing I'll say is Grubauer's had a really nice bounce back season. But I mean, beyond that, like we should pull the Swiss. Like, let's get this Swiss lineup here. I'll get this here.
Find the Swiss lineup. I'm going to just add to Thompson because we went to the Caps game last year, I think it was, and he was in net, and Marsh and I were pretty low down, like not right behind him, but close to behind him twice. And he's a pretty big dude, and he moves insanely well for a big guy. Like I was sitting there watching, like I'm right behind. I'm like, my God, like he is ridiculously quick. Moves extremely well, and is a big dude. That was my first wake up. Like I'd seen his numbers and stuff, and I was like, let's get a look at this guy. And then I watched him up close, and I was like, holy smokes, like he's the real deal. So I would expect him to be just fine in this game today because he's as steady as they come right now in the National Hockey League. So
yeah. So here's what we're looking at for the Swiss.
Okay.
They are coming with Nico Hischier is their top center, Kevin Fiala on the left wing, and Calvin Thurkauf. Is that an NHL guy? Do you recognize that name?
I recognize it from, I think I've had a Young Gun hockey card of his, so I'm pretty sure he's in it. Yeah, so he played 3 games for Columbus, which means he would have got Upper Deck rookie card back in 2019. But that's how bad it is. Us like somebody's like, is this guy a fringe NHLer? I'm like, yes, I know, because doing the crack pack breaks, I've opened up 60,000 Upper Deck cards over the last few years, and I know I've seen his Young Gun. But yeah, so he's been in Lugano for the last 5 years.
So he's there. He's playing with Fiala and Hischier, according to DFO, on their top line. Dennis Malgin in the middle of Sven Andrighetto and my guy Nino Niederreiter. And then funny enough, and I guess you could change this around. I think they're trying to spread out the talent. But
yeah,
Timo
that's an
Meier,
NHL line on their third line. Like that's
Yeah. But I mean, Timo Meier is on their third line, along with Kurashev and Pia Suter. So again, NHLers. And then Christoph Berchi, Ken Yeager, and Damian Riat is the forwards. Now for the blue line, according to this, they're sort of spreading their NHLers over the 3 pairs. So Yossi's obviously on their top pair with Andrea Glauser. You got Jonas Siegenthaler from the Devils on the 2 pair with Dean Kukan, and then JJ Moser from Tampa with Michael Flora. Had no idea JJ Moser was Swiss. And then Christian Marty and Sandro Smid. And then, I mean, their power play is pretty good. Malgin, Hischier, Meier, Yossi, Fiala.
Yeah, that's a good power play. It's not going to compare to Canada's power play, but I mean, there's some threats there.
I mean, when I look at this team and compare it to the Czechs, like they don't have a Pasternak. I mean, I think Hischier's a good center. I mean, is he better than Hertl? I mean, I don't know, maybe in and around that Palat.
But outside of Hertl and Pasternak, man, and Natchez, Marty Natchez, obviously.
Marty Natchez, for sure.
But after those 3 guys, like that Czechia forward group kind of falls off rather heavily.
Yeah, the only other guys, I mean, Kasha is a borderline guy, Kubalik, Radek Faksa. And then to me, the big difference is the blue line. I mean, they got Hronik, Gudis, Kempny. Spasek. But those 3 guys that the Swiss have were pretty good. And then I will say this: I think I'm probably taking the Czechs goaltending. Like Grubauer, okay, fine, he's good, but I mean Vejmelka or Dostal, I would take both over him. So I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be a bit of the same thing. And speaking of a bit of the same thing, I'm basically going back to the well. I told you we missed out. We were doing something with Connor and Remo where we had Makar assist, Celebrini goal, Reinhardt point, and Canada cover. Well, we got the goal and the assist on the first goal, and then Reinhardt never got one. So I'm going back with Canada to cover, 2.5. Celebrini again to score, and McKinnon again to score.
You're running back to a Celebrini goal again. Hey, I like it.
Well, and this is also a little.
And did you say McKinnon to score too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two guys to score in Canada, man. Once I realized there's so many great players, give me the guys that are going to be on those top two lines, getting power play time. Because as we saw with Reinhardt, and like Connor was all choked, he was the one that had Reinhardt. Well, when we made that pick, Reinhardt was on McKinnon's line and on the power play. Well, they swapped him with Suzuki. So at 5-on-5, he wasn't playing a ton. And then on the power play, like you can be Sam Reinhart. I mean, I don't know how often he's going to touch the puck because it's going Makar, McDavid, McKinnon, maybe a little Crosby. And I mean, you could just play those guys 4-on-4 and they're probably going to score at the rate of a normal power play right now. So that's what I'm thinking for tonight, for today. I mean, I don't mind the goal prop. Do you have goal props? Like, let's just go through this right now.
I don't have any, man. No. What do you got? What do you got for him?
Okay, let's see what's cooking here for player goals. So McKinnon has actually gone down from what it was before, but he's plus 105. McDavid plus 135. Celebrini plus 185. Sid plus 190, Reinhardt 2-1, and then you get into Stone plus 250, Makar plus 260, Marner plus 270, Tom Wilson plus 280. Suzuki, I mean, dude, Suzuki a plus 295. I mean, playing with McKinnon, and he always seems to be in and around the net. The first Swiss guys you'll find, Heischer and Meyer plus 345, Fiala plus 355, and then Yossi plus 720. Just looking at numbers for McDavid, like as far as for points.
Yeah, it's like what's McDavid's over 2.5 points again if he was going to run it back with 3 more?
It's only plus 220. Same with McKinnon. I mean, that's just how good these guys are. And again, it's, at least when you see those numbers in NHL games, they're playing with a regular NHL team against, another NHL squad. Whereas right now, it's like they're like Marshall's super team in NHL 26 playing against, no disrespect, but the Swiss team, which has a bunch of pretty good players. But I mean, how many guys on the Swiss team would even make Team Canada? Yossi?
Yossi would right now.
Yossi would make it.
I'd take Yossi ahead of Sanheim and those guys. But that's it.
Yeah, like Fiala,
Yeah.
Heischer.
None of those other guys are
None of
making
those guys are making it. So
that's
why those numbers are low. I think the value's in the goals. I think the value's in the goal props. That's my read off of it.
I played one of Marshall's super teams last night, and he ended up beating me 6-5 with a goal from Bobby Orr. Like he has them. I was Team Finland from the Four Nations, pretty good team, but he was one of his stacked teams, and it was Bobby Orr from Sidney Crosby with 48 seconds left to beat me. So I was pissed off. Lankinen should have had it. I'm not going to lie to you. And he's like, "Well, Daddy, that's on you for not starting UC Saros." I said, "I know." What's that?
It was like the Galactic All-Stars versus.
I was Finland. I was Team Finland. Yeah.
Oh, Finland.
Yeah. So, but they had Lankinen starting. He even told me at the beginning of the game, he goes, "Daddy, you should probably put Saros in there." I said, "I'll just run with Lankinen, buddy. Don't worry about it." And then Lankinen let in a stinker with less than a minute left. And Marshall's like, "I told you, should have put Saros in." I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." He's on the most stacked team of all time. Okay, what about let's just look ahead here, Huss, on these on the Olympic hockey front, because tomorrow we get Germany, Latvia. Germany is a minus 323 favorite. Sweden is minus 2.5 on the puck line against Slovakia. Really not much out there on Finland and Italy right now. And then U.S. is a minus 4.5 favorite against Denmark. Any thoughts on that Saturday Valentine's Day board for Olympic hockey?
The Saturday, let me just get it back up.
Like
there.
the U.S. looked really good yesterday. I thought they could have won more comfortably against Latvia. And now they get Denmark that lost to Germany. So,
yeah, I mean, like, listen, there's a ton of offensive talent. They weren't really tested that much. They had a couple goals that went off the board. It could have been worse. At the 4, no, is it 4 or 4.5?
I'm looking at 4.5.
And what's the number?
Minus 118.
Minus 118. All right. I saw I actually got them yesterday at a 4. So I had it parlayed with Germany.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a push on the USA game as opposed to a loss, which was nice.
You know what I did yesterday? Because we were talking about putting that on a little parlay yesterday. When I said it to the guys for the parlay, I moved the US to 3.5 and we cashed it. So it worked. It worked out. Got lucky on that one.
Thank
that
you,
one
Dusty.
last night.
But yeah, I mean, and I guess it's Freddie Anderson for Denmark. Do they have a second goaltender?
The other guy's name's Frederick Dichow. So
What about Donsk? Oh yeah. Huh. So yeah, Freddie's always potentially hurt.
yeah, well, he actually has a little note by his name now too. So I'm not too sure what that is.
Is there a? Yeah, no, we don't. They don't have a starting one. Anyways, listen. Right now, I think through this, I mean, I might give them a. Maybe we'll see about the German game. Maybe USA won't cover, but I think in this one, this one they will. And then, yeah, Grubauer's in for Germany. So I do like USA. Germany over Latvia. I mean, I went with the minus 1.5. They won 3-1. Can they do it again against the Latvian? I think they can. I mean, Leon looked awesome.
He did look awesome. Took him like 23 seconds to cash that goal prop. So that was nice.
Yeah, I know. That was so
That was a quick one.
So I think those two. Now, where it's interesting is going to be Sweden.
Yeah.
The Swedes really, I think, are going to be the team that's going to need to let it go offensively, because you have to think that Finland will light up Italy. Now, again, the Italians have played really tough so far, and the goalies have been great, but Finland knows their situation. And the fact that they got it back on Sweden, I mean, if they can win by 3-4 goals, they'll probably end up first. Like, they'll be in the top 4, which was a far cry from what they looked like they were looking at for the Slovaks. And listen, if Slovakia can just get a point, like if they could get this thing to overtime somehow, they will be first.
Yeah, they would have it. That's huge for them.
They would have it. They would have no record. So that's a really interesting game. I'm seeing Sweden minus 2.5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sweden just hasn't really impressed me as much as I.
No, I mean, I think the Slovakia plus 2.5 play is certainly something you could get in on for sure. So I'm looking at minus 118.
They had 60 shots or whatever against that Italian guy in the first game, and they just couldn't score. And then they finally broke it open at the end and had an empty netter. But I do think I'm kind of feeling Germany minus 1.5. I think I will take USA. And to be honest, like Italy plus 4.5 is tempting with just how, I mean, these guys are playing so hard. They got the crowd behind them, and they got a goalie that hopefully will be feeling a bit better the day off before that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Just as we talk this out, Germany, USA, if you're just going to do a 2-gamer, I think I'll roll with that like I did yesterday.
The same thing as yesterday, yeah.
But I mean, there's plus money on the board at Italy plus 4.5. And I mean, if you pop that one in, I got to take that off. Sorry, Germany, USA, Italy. I mean, plus money on two of them in there. That was plus 710.
So that's a pretty big number for sure. So that's something you can look at for that Saturday slate if you want to dabble in that later today, or probably have to be tonight before you go to bed unless you're getting up early to watch those games. So what's coming up on WST, buddy?
Well, we're doing a little. I did not want to be having to be like this and talking to people, so we're starting at like in 5 minutes at 1.
Okay,
we're gonna talk the game. We're going to set it up. Maybe the toughest guy in pro hockey, Tyrell Bauer, is going to jump on for 15 minutes. I'm sure you've seen his fights on the internet with the Manitoba Moose. Absolute killer. And his fights are like 2 minutes long, too. It's insane. We're going to talk to him, set up the game, puck drop, we're out. And then as soon as the game is over, the show will resume.
Beautiful.
With Connor and Remus breaking it down post-game.
Excellent. All right, that's coming up on Winnipeg Sports Talk, which gets rolling right away. Huss, enjoy the game, my man. And
we'll lock shop. Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk to you on Tuesday, all right?
Oh, yeah, no show.
No show Monday.
We're right into the quarters that day. So
yeah, that's going to be moving along quickly. That'll be a big day. So have a good weekend, man. There you go. That's Huss. Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up at noon today, Edmonton time, if you want to hop on over to their channel. So I've sent a little something over to Play Alberta for tomorrow's slate. So watch the EST specials page for that. If you want to get in on what we've got today, Jay's play of the day from yesterday is still up for this Canadian game. And then the early bird bet from this morning, Canada win by 2 or more, and the total in the game to be under the 6.5. So under 7, I guess is the line there. That's sitting at plus 200 if you want to ride with us at Play Alberta. Play Alberta title sponsor. And I need Canada to win by 2 to cash a pretty big ticket I had last night with the Lakers on the money line and Canada win by 2. So let's get this done. Let's get it done comfortably. Thank you very much. If you've been listening to Lock Shop, best of luck if you're going to ride with us tonight and through the weekend. Matt Hyman over in the chat says, Huss needs a Diet Pepsi stat. Yeah, he definitely does, doesn't he? We've got the oil stream coming up next. We'll continue to get you ready for Canada and Switzerland. Take it easy.